Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You've got Indigo Diamond here to talk about the latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 14. I almost said UK. That would have been a good start to the episode. Before we get into the episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and tell me down below who are you rooting for. So, this episode, it was a girl group challenge, but it was sort of like 60's girl group. And it was sort of like, it wasn't like they were making their own girl groups up sort of thing. The queens were doing groups based on real life groups. So we had the RuPreams, the Ronettes, the Runettes, and I can't remember what the other one was. Oh wow, this is going well. Oops. So it was a good episode. I must admit, no one necessarily did badly. There were definitely a clear like bottom three. Like there were three people that I was like, well, let's say there was a clear bottom two. Clear bottom two. Jasmine didn't make it to the bottom. No, Jasmine did make it to the bottom two. Yeah, Jasmine and Kerri were the bottom two this week, and I definitely think that was fair. It was very sad considering Jasmine came out as a trans woman in Untucked last episode, and then this episode she ends up having to go against Kerri. That was quite sad. So let's get into it. So this week's runway theme was heart on, so essentially hearts. I cannot see anything that I am looking at. That's really helpful. So up first we'll go with Angeria. Angeria Paris VanMichaels was part of the RuPreams. I thought she sounded good. I thought she moved well. There were a couple of times where she looked like she was getting a bit too close to Lady Camden with her movements, which made it look a little bit messy. So I can see why she didn't win this episode, but like if it was based on vocals alone, I thought she did an amazing job. Her runway look was interesting. So the hair was a choice. She came out with like her hands together, and the fluffy bits on the end of her hands kind of like joined, and she was covering up what was on her chest. I wish she had stayed like that. But it was very sort of like Cruella inspired because she had like black and white. But then she like took her hands out and it was just like, I heart you. And I was like, oh, that was a bit of a letdown. I don't know. I was kind of expecting something different. I know she's like pageantry, but I can't like, even if it had just been like a heart that like spurt blood or something. I don't know. I just kind of wanted almost like a shock from that. But it was just kind of, oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I thought Angeria did really well this episode. I'm glad she's still in it because I'm not sure if she's the person I want to win anymore. She's definitely one of my tops. I definitely want her in the top 4. But yeah, she's been doing really well, and now she's almost just kind of plateaued and she's just kind of like here. Up next we have Bosco. Now Bosco, again, I think did fine this episode. I liked their runway look. They went for sort of like a vampire look. And a drag queen wearing white is very bold. So, I will say though, she came out with like a heart and she was doing like a vampire thing. And then she turned around and she had like this really big cutout and then her little bum there. I don't think the cutout needed to be that long. And honestly, I'm not sure if we needed the cutout at all. My own personal preference there, I don't think it was really needed, but you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, why have you done this? It's the stupidest thing, because it was fine. I didn't mind it that much. I just, did you need it? Probably not. Up next is Daya Betty. Daya Betty got her first win this week, and honestly, at the time I was like, oh really? And then thinking about it a bit more, which is why I tend to like to give these episodes a few days before I actually like film them, or like a day, just so I can kind of like think about it, set my feelings, think, okay, is this actually how I feel, or you know, is it just getting caught up in everything? Honestly, I think she was probably one of the better ones, so I'm not mad that she won the episode. I'm glad that she's finally out of her, oh my god, I'm safe every week, you know, slap out of it sort of thing. Her lyrics were funny, you know, she did well with the choreography in that. I think she was fine. I did not like her runway look. It's just, I didn't like the hair because there was like that massive gap at the side. And I don't know, I almost felt like the makeup was a bit too muted with everything else this week. Maybe it was just me. But yeah, it wasn't my favourite look. So yeah, I've got hair in my mouth again every week. So that was Diabetic. Up next is Deja Sky. So Deja went into the challenge and it was Michelle leading them, and she was like, can any of you sing? And everyone in her group went no, including her. And then she started singing and Michelle was like, Deja, you can sing. And she's like, oh, huh. So I like it when things like that happen. It's nice that, you know, Deja's now maybe got another avenue of something she can look into doing for like her acts out and about. And when she goes on tour and things, you know, she can think, oh, maybe she can get some singing practice in. She can really hone her skills, and that can be one of the things she does, live vocals. Not everyone can do that. Now, with Deja's outfit, it was very superheroine. It was okay. I do wish she'd had like boots rather than like shoes with stockings. But it wasn't terrible. I didn't mind it. She had like a red like belt on, but it looked almost like it got lost when she turned around at the back. But you know, apart from that, I actually really like this look. I think it was probably one of my favourite for Deja so far. Is that Jasmine next? Yeah, I'm gonna say that's Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine's next. She said she was going for like one of the like music. Oh no, Aphrodite from Hercules. I looked at the look and I was like, "You sure? You sure that's what you're going for? I'm not buying it." The look itself, yeah, I wasn't a massive fan. Again, it's one of those things. She wasn't wearing like. She didn't have like a breastplate on it. I get it because of the type of outfit it was, but then it just made the bust bit look really awkward, and like her hair like was not my favourite. We'll leave it at that. With the challenge, yeah, Jasmine said she couldn't sing. She can't. At least, well, I mean, anyone can sing, but you know, clearly she's not had any training or anything in it. And unfortunately she was one of the ones where you could kind of notice it in the actual challenge as well, whereas Jorgeous wasn't as bad. But yeah, it was a bit of a shame because obviously, you know, then she won the lip sync and yeah. But it was just a shame that she had to send Kerri home, because I love Kerri. I thought she'd been... I mean, she hadn't been doing like amazingly well in the competition, but I just really liked having her there every week, and it was just really nice to have her in the workroom, just like talking, just like her talking was just really nice. She's got a very nice talking voice. Like it's one that you would happily just sit there and listen to, I feel. And yeah, I don't know, she felt very genuine as a person, and I really like that with Kerri. But yeah, so it was a hard episode for Jasmine, but she's here for another week, and yeah, we'll see what happens next week. So up next is Jorgeous. Now, Jorgeous was struggling in the recording session. Now, she kept adding extra words, well, extra like syllables. Because it was like, I think it was meeting, and she kept going meeting rather than meeting, and then moving and then extending the next word. That was her biggest problem. But in the actual like finished version, She actually sounded quite good. I think they got her to the point that she needed to be with her vocals. It was more of a talking thing, but it worked and it still fitted in with the song. I will say, with Jorgeous, Jasmine, and Deja, all of them had updos, but none of them had earrings in. And it was like, you could just see these massive earlobes, like, just completely blank, and it just looked really odd. So I would have liked to have seen something on their ears just in the challenge, especially considering they had updos. It was a bit bizarre. Jorgeous's runway look, it was She had like a big fluffy heart on her back, and then sort of like, again, just like showing off her body. But then my problem with, like, when it got to the pants, it's like it clearly had Nude Illusion on it, and it didn't quite match her skin tone, so it was a bit kind of like, okay, it's a bit off there. And yeah, again, it's one of those things where I'm just sat there's like, I feel like you're, again, relying on your body. So, not my favourite thing in the world. Up next is Kerri Colby. Now, Kerri Colby was a bit pitchy in the actual recording, when in the recording session. When it came to the actual song, I don't know why my brain went blank there. It wasn't terrible. I must admit, she felt like she was moving too much. She definitely went more to Church rather than Supremes, because the Supremes, they tend to sway a lot, but she was like really going for it, and it was really quite quick and a bit erratic. So I think, unfortunately, that was where Kerri stumbled in this challenge, unfortunately, and that was kind of what landed her in the bottom. Is, you know, no one, she didn't really feel like she was fitting in with the group that she was in. She was more like, oh, we need a third person. Oh, that woman is one of the singers at Church, we'll grab her. The look on the runway, so she went for sort of like, almost like, what's it like, veins, arteries and that, like, over her body, and then she had like a heart underneath, but I think the heart was on the wrong side. But the biggest problem was is she had like the tights, but the tights like stopped at like her waist, and you could easily see that the tights stopped at her waist. And part of that was because, I mean, because like Kylie on All Star 6, Kylie in the like goth runway, she had fishnets and that, but because of where her outfit like cut off at one point, she was able to sort of like hide the band under that. So then it didn't carry up the rest of the way. So it was a very clever way of doing that. Unfortunately, with Kerri's outfit, she couldn't do that, which was a shame. I'm really not sure what she could have done with that, apart from have a different outfit or not wear the like those. So yeah, it was a shame. I thought Kerri did okay in the lip sync. I am very sad to see her go. I do wish that she had the golden ticket, but I think the golden ticket's going to be saved for someone they want in the end, if they just happen to trip on one day, sort of thing. So sad to see Kerri go, but I doubt this is the last we've heard of her. I'm sure at one point in the future she will come back for an All-Stars, hopefully, and I'm sure she'll really be in her own element at that point. Up next is Lady Camden. Yes, Lady Camden. I have no glasses on, and I can see these images in front of me, but they're really blurred. So Lady Camden, the judges felt like they lost her a bit in the challenge. Michelle was saying about how she couldn't really tell if she was like a brunette, if she was blonde, and like I'm pretty sure that entire trio was brunette. So the makeup looked a bit weird to me in the challenge. I don't know if it's because like she went for like really big lashes or something, and just it looked a bit strange, maybe because she was like so pale compared to everything else. On the runway, yeah, it was a bit of a miss for me. She was supposed to be going for like a sort of Cupid feel, but she had this massive heart on her, and it had arrows that went through it and then came out the back, and it was so big you couldn't really see the rest of the outfit, and she was kind of lost in it, which was, you know, not great. But she sounded good in the vocals, and I think that's what saved her, because she was in the bottom 3 this week, unfortunately, considering she won last week. So hopefully, you know, she had another kick up the butt to, you know, push her personality more. So hopefully she will do better. Finally this week we have Willow. I liked Willow with what she did. I will say for me, she felt very stiff in the performance. Like, it wasn't like she was like, yes, these are the moves that I'm doing. It was like, yes, these are the moves that I'm doing at this point. So that was a bit of a shame, but she was safe. It was fine, and I agree that safe was a good placement for her. Her look on the runway, so she was kind of going for like this like dress made out of underwear, and I liked the idea of it. My biggest problem was the fact that she couldn't really walk in it. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's great to have these ideas, but you need to make sure you can actually walk in the outfit that you're wearing, because otherwise, you know, if you're kind of like moving like this, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that. So, yeah, that was a shame. I can't remember what next week's challenge is, so we'll have to wait till next week. So, yeah, I think my top 4 are... I still want Angeria in the top. Bosco, Lady Camden. Honestly, I think 4th spot, probably Willow. Maybe. Top 4. Let me know down below, who are you rooting for? Who are your... Oh, God, excuse me. Gassy today. Who are your top 4? Who do you want to take the whole lot? While you're down there, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I will see you lovely people next time. See ya!